The Great's cancellation is still a bitter disappointment, but Julianne Moore's Mary and George will serve as the perfect replacement. The Hulu series following Catherine the Great's rise to power had a unique flavor, presenting history in a comedic way while still embracing all the drama of royal politics. Despite the Great receiving excellent reviews from critics and general audiences alike, Hulu cancelled the series after season 3 in 2023. However, this isn't the end of historical parodies, since Starz's Mary and George takes a similar angle. The Great, starring Elle Fanning and Nicholas Hoult as Catherine and Peter, Empress and Emperor of Russia, was a massive critical success in its first 3 seasons. The series boasts an impressive 96% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, with a fair audience score of 85%. While The Great wasn't necessarily historically accurate, its satirical approach was highly effective, resulting in a deliciously hilarious yet cognitively impactful experience. Unfortunately, following the expensive losses of the 2023 Hollywood strikes, Hulu found that the show's viewership simply wasn't high enough. Mary and George is a terrific new replacement for The Great. Mary and George takes a similar comedic approach as The Great to historical dramas. Though not enough people were watching The Great for Hulu to justify the costs, the show's quality reviews prove there is interest in such an approach to historical dramas. Series like The Tudors, which took a more serious and dramatic approach to exploring royal politics of the past, had already proven that there is something eternally intriguing about diving into the scandals of history. By adding more modern and comedic dialogue and concepts, The Great transformed these historical figures into something more tangible and relatable. Now, Mary and George has taken up the same approach. While Mary and George isn't quite as satirical as The Great, it is an excellent replacement for those still lamenting the Hulu series cancellation. It is every bit as raunchy and scandalous, with plenty of cutthroat, devious court members eager to tear our protagonists down. Additionally, just as The Great's Peter was a character we love to hate, Moore's Mary Villiers is equally as despicable as she is lovable. Throw in the comedic and relatable dialogue, and Mary and George has a very similar flavor to Hulu's cancelled historical drama. The best news about Mary and George is that it would be entirely possible for it to suffer the same fate as The Great. Starz's historical drama is a mini-series, comprising of 6 episodes that are released weekly on the streaming service. This means that the story of King James VI's scandalous romance with George Villiers is already complete, and cannot be cancelled. There's no risk of falling in love with the story, only to be left without answers or a satisfying ending. So, while The Great's cancellation is still bitter, Mary and George is a safe and perfectly adequate replacement.